In our two-part webinar on not-for-profit private sector considerations, we look at the area of reporting, operations, and regulatory compliance and the things you should consider now. In part 2 of our webinar, we look at 2 clauses that are typical in grant arrangements that you may receive. The first clause could allow the grantor to terminate for convenience and receive a refund of monies at any time. And the second clause allows the grantor to receive a refund of unspent monies at the end of the grant arrangement. When accounting for these arrangements under AASB 1058, the not-for-profit income standard, we discuss when these clauses might result in a financial liability being recognised and the resulting impact on income recognition. We also recap on impairment testing of assets that are held, not held primarily for their cash generating purposes. And we discuss how market and income approaches to determining fair value may be more appropriate than the current replacement cost approach for assets like those used in aged care and social housing. With 30 June reporting just around the corner, we look at standards and IFRIC agenda decisions that require consideration this year end. In particular, we look at the recent agenda decision dealing with configuration and customization services that you might have received as part of implementing a cloud service arrangement. And we talk about when these costs might be capitalized or expensed. And we also have a look at the recent amendment dealing with rent concession practical expedience. Both of these require retrospective application, which means that some organisations will need to reopen previous accounting, which could be time consuming. On operational matters, we talk about payroll issues associated with wages underpayment and the so-called permanent casuals issue. If last 30 June you were impacted by the Workpac and Rosato federal court decision, then you'll be interested to take a look at the March legislative amendment, which could mean that provisions that you previously recognised for leave entitlements for these permanent casuals could be reversed this current year. We also continue the discussion about the importance of transparent reporting in this sector and how your organisation may approach 2 new legislative developments. The first, dealing with payment times reporting, and this is where large businesses and government entities or enterprises need to report on a 6-monthly basis on their payment terms and policies for their small business suppliers. And we also have a look at the annual reporting requirements of the Modern Slavery Act. There are also future changes, significant future changes impacting your sector. And we have a look at what these future changes are and their status. We review the upcoming changes to your financial reporting framework and tiers of reporting. We look at the proposed new definition of not-for-profit for accounting standard purposes and the proposed changes to the thresholds for reporting to the ACNC. So that's a summary of part 2 of our webinar. We also invite you to attend our 4th of May webinar dealing more generally with reporting considerations this 30 June. Thank you.